What's going on, guys? Anthony with Metal Miners. Oh man, it's a rainy day here in North Florida. I'm off of work, been on night shifts, man, so I'm trying to catch up. Just chilling at the house, listening to the rain on the tin roof, and thought I'd do a video, man. Pay my respects to my man Trevor over at Fumes of Hatred. He's having a 400 subs celebration, giveaway, contest, whatever you want to call it. And Trevor's a great dude, man. If you don't know his channel, I hadn't checked him out, go check him out, man. He's always up to some mischief over there, man. The kind of stuff that we all love and appreciate. He had 4 questions on here, and I'm not going to pull out any stuff and try to show you. I'm just going to answer these questions to the best of my ability and give y'all some hints and maybe some insight into myself as well as old Trevor. But in the background, I've got some constructive comments about my music. Might have been too loud from times past. I get a little overzealous, you know what I mean, and I call myself listening back to them, but my wife's told me it was too loud too, but she tells me a lot of things that I really don't let soak in. In the background, we're listening to Serphic Entombment, and the name of this one is Sickness Particles Gleam, out on Everlasting Spew. That dog just knocked over the guitar stand. If you're not familiar, I didn't even look up to see who did this art. If you haven't heard these guys, covered by Karmazid, I think it is. 4-piece out of Birmingham, Alabama. Southern fried death metal, man. You got to check these guys out. This is a 2023 release. I don't know if this is available on vinyl yet, but I'm sure Tito will get us some word on that if it is. But there it is, Serphic Entombment. Check them out if you like this style of stuff, which I love. All right, let's get into it. Had 4 questions. The questions are require some. I got my dog controller here. You need one of these. She's a good girl. She just gets into trouble and she can't stay out of trouble. The first question out of 4 was, if you could resurrect 4 bands or 4 musicians or 4 eras of a band, what would those 4 be? And man, I could have went on and on with people I would like to resurrect or bring back to life or whatever you want to call it. But I just put down a quick list. The first one that came to my mind was Scott Weiland. Man, I've always been a Stone Temple Pilots fan. I just hate to see these guys go in such a way. I miss that music. I miss his voice. I miss his, I just miss folks like that, man. The other one was Lane Staley, Stone Temple Pilots. Man, just tragic the circumstances surrounding that and how all that unfolded. But I miss the dude. Stevie Ray Vaughan, I would love to have been able to see Stevie Ray live, see him still kicking around doing his thing. I love the blues. I love the way he does it. Did it, I should say. Randy Rhoads, man. Who wouldn't like to see Randy Rhoads still around doing his thing? Terrible situation. Absolutely terrible. Ronnie Van Zant. I'm a big Skinner fan. I was just a boy when the plane crashed back in 1977. But I remember it. I remember it being on the news. I live halfway in between Jacksonville and Tallahassee, so Skinner being a Jacksonville band, it was big news down here, you know, that the plane had crashed. Of course, Ronnie Van Zant died in the plane crash. Steve Gaines, the guitarist, his older sister who did backup vocals, Cassie Gaines. You also have an assistant road manager die, and the pilot. Terrible stuff, man. I could just go on and on with lists of people that I wish were still around who went well before their time. You know, you could say Hendrix and Janis Joplin and Kurt Cobain and you know, the 27 Club, all those folks, you know, I wish were still around. But man, you got to enjoy the time you got, because you don't know when your card's coming up. You don't need to rush it. Sure not. Y'all want a dog? Look, she's got bad dental work. If you got good dental insurance, I'll let you keep her for a while. She needs braces. The second question was, list 1 to 4 releases or pressings you desire to own that amass a total of $400 on Discogs. I'm not a big guy that has to have first pressings or original pressings or original copies or obscure stuff. I like what I like, and I just want a good, clean copy. I can't stand the cover to be bent or damaged. You know, I prefer vinyl on some of this stuff that I can keep, you know, but I just put down a few, you know, they're not that obscure. Nothing that money wouldn't cure, but money isn't always, you know, you got to set your priorities, you know what I mean, man? The first one I would like to have Ripakulu's demo from 1993. Of course, that's Musta Ceremonia, finished Death Doom, just a masterpiece in my mind. I would love to pick that one up, and it's not that expensive. I looked on Discogs here while I was writing down some notes for this. I can probably get a copy delivered here for about $60 in good condition, you know, which is probably going to happen sooner or later, you know, but who knows. The other one is Death Symbolic, of course, 1995's release, the only one that was on, hadn't been reissued. I had a good copy, a new copy, a clean copy, but I gave it to my favorite boy in the world, old Cody, to complete his Death collection. I'm going to get me another copy one day. I looked on Discogs before I made this video, and it looks like a good clean copy. The cheapest one I found was roughly $200 delivered to the door, you know, so maybe one day. Just wait on another pressing, you know. I always borrow Cody's or whatever. But the other thing that I would like to have is actually a box set. The box set is ZZ Top's, they call it Cinco, which is Spanish for 5. It's their first 5 studio albums. You get the first album, which is titled The First Album. You get Rio Grande Mud, Tres Hombres, Fandango, and Tejas. The first 5 studio albums all come in a box set. Then they have another box set, which is the second 5 studio albums, is Cinco number 2, and I've actually got a copy of that on the way. It's a little bit less expensive because the albums weren't quite as popular, but roughly $200 I can get a good, very good plus to near mint copy. So probably be doing that for the years out. I'll grab me a copy of that. But big ZZ Top fan, man. Big ZZ Top fan. Love me some ZZ Top. All right, moving right along. The third question. I had to write notes, man, because my memory is about as short as my, 4 concert memories that stand out, either sad or funny or irritating or whatever. The 4 that come off the top of my head. ZZ Top. The reason why it was important, of course, Dusty passed away shortly after the tour. It was several years ago. I can't remember the date. I got a t-shirt, but I didn't go look it up. We went and seen them in Tallahassee. Of course, Billy Gibbons, Frank Beard, and Dusty Hill, Tres Hombres. The reason why it was special to me, it was my mother, my wife, and my son. Some were willing to go, some were conned into going, but we all went and we all had a good time. And of course, the last time we'll ever get to see the original lineup, because Dusty's since passed, but that was a good one for me. Metallica, several years ago, Cody wanted to see the Big 4 all in one year. I think he finally got that accomplished. Of course, you know, Metallica, Megadeth, my mind is just so bad. Slayer and Anthrax, which I always say should have been Exodus or Testament, but whatever, that's a Big 4 discussion. We went and seen Metallica in Birmingham, which is about 400 miles away. to catch that show. Of course, they were late coming on. Jacked around mess. I was just before having back surgery, and we had to park about a mile away. I couldn't hardly walk. We was up in a nosebleed session. But besides all of that, when they finally did come on, they were good. You know, not the Metallica that I remembered when I was Cody's age, but nevertheless Metallica, and that filled up his list for the Big Four in 1 year. And for me, the ride there and back with my son was the best time of the whole show. But that was a rememberable event. The next one I would say would be Obituary. Me and Cody went and met over in Jacksonville, saw them in a very small venue. Of course, if you've ever seen Obituary, it's almost like, you know, if you get a chance to see them in a small venue, it's just like a family reunion or a family outing. They don't meet a stranger, man. They've been doing these sets for so long. They're just flawless. They're fluid. They interact with the crowd. I got my picture taken with Trevor. You know, spoke to him for a minute. Good time. And probably the most memorable one from my youth, early 20s. I was in the Army in Germany, and I actually went to 2 Monsters of Rocks when I was over there. But I tried to look it up if my memory is correct. Now, I tried to find my ticket stub, but it's in some old stuff packed away. If my memory's correct, it was 88, and we went to see him. When I say we, me and some buddies of mine, Army buddies, we went to see Monsters of Rock in Nuremberg. I think the year before we went to Schweinfurt, but this was Nuremberg. And I looked up the set list. I can't remember off the thing, but it was Cinderella, Deep Purple, Dio, Halloween, Metallica, Pretty Maids, and Rat. And I think that's the correct lineup. But for some reason, I don't remember seeing Metallica. But for some reason, I don't remember seeing a lot of it. But I can tell you the reason. Probably guess. But anyway, the reason why it was memorable for me, huge crowd. And you can go on YouTube and see a video of that crowd that year. But once you get obligated in that crowd and you make it up past the big teleprompters, and I mean, you're obligated then. You ain't getting out until, you know, they have a set change or whatever. And we were obligated. You know, and when you're standing back, you're looking up there and you see the fence and you see the stage and it looks like it's level. But when you get all the way up there close to the fence where you can see there's a big area between the fence and the stage, and the stage is way up off the ground. It's not level. And we were in there, you know, we were in the crowd, and I forget who was playing. Anyway, here comes, you know, you check it out of your corner of your eye, you see some people passing somebody up, and this fella's in a wheelchair, and they're passing him up to the front. And I guess they thought when they got to the front that the crowd was up against the stage, but the fence was probably 20 feet from the stage. And when they got him to the front, over he went. It was one of those moments when you say, you know, I wish I would have had a camera, but you know, everybody didn't have these cell phones back then in '88. But crazy show, crazy times, crazy lineup. I think we went to see them in '87 to Monsters of Rock, but '89, I think I was back in the States by the time that came around. But good stuff, good memories. At ZZ Top with the family, Metallica with Cody, Obituary in Jacksonville with Cody, and of course Monsters of Rock with some of my drunk Army buddies back when I was in my early 20s, man. I am 56 now, so it's been a while. The fourth and final question for Trevor was, list 4 of the best bands you've ever seen live, due to catalog or performance. Probably gonna have a little overlap in here, but one of the best new bands I've seen, up and coming bands that, let me put her down, that really give it their all. If you ever get a chance to go see 200 Stab Wounds, whether you're really into their music or not, they're one of those bands that it's good to listen to them on a physical format. It's good to listen to them on your stereo. But if you ever go see them live, you'll appreciate those guys so much more. They are balls out, man. They give you every ounce of energy they have. When they leave the stage, they have given you their best, I assure you. 200 Stab Wounds is an excellent live band. Saw them in a small venue. Me and Cody, I forget who was there with them. I want to say Sanguine Sugar Bog, and they were opening for Cannibal Corpse in Jacksonville. If you ever get a chance to see 200 Stab Wounds, check them out. Another one, you know, Obituary. Love to see Obituary. You know, it's one of those bands. If like Cannibal Corpse, if you live down here where I live, you can always catch them at least once or twice a year. Small venues. They don't care if there's 10 people out there or 100,000. They give it to you, and I'm just an Obituary fan. I think the Florida death metal, man, it's just icons down here. I mean, you know. Another one that I would say was one of my best bands as far as performance, musicianship, any of that stuff you want to say, is Joe Bonamassa. If you're a guitar hero of any kind, if you're a fan of the guitar, if you're a guitar geek, if you like guitars, if you like guitar players, if you like guitar music, if you like the blues, if you just like to see somebody who has mastered an instrument, and you get a chance to see Joe Bonamassa, he's going to bring the most talented group of musicians with him that you'll ever see gathered in one place together. And he's going to put on a show that is unbelievable if you like blues guitar. Joe Bonamassa is second to none. And the fourth one under the best bands you ever seen live as far as catalog or performance is ZZ Top. I've seen them probably 2 or 3 times live. Once or twice when I was a young man and doing crazy stuff. This last time, as I told you, with my mother and my wife and my son, and just iconic. Call it rock and roll, southern rock, whatever you want to call it. Just everything that you would expect from a rock and roll show, as far as you know, musicianship, stage presence, performance. I mean, they just the total package, man. ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons, he's a guitar wizard, brother. I'm telling you. Check out some of the interviews, you know, what Jimi Hendrix had to say about Billy Gibbons. Just, you would never believe a 3-piece band could make that much noise, man. Good stuff. Trevor, good job, man, on the 400. I know you're up and running from that now. Appreciate your channel. Appreciate what you're doing, man. Keep on plugging. Of course, you know, Cody and I haven't reached a milestone too, and it's taken us a while to get there. But regardless if I had 100 subs or 10 million subs, man, it's all about folks, man. It's all about people, treating people right, not being critical, not being hateful, not all this crazy sideways stuff that so many channels seem to do just to get a rise out of folks, man. Just be yourself, be a good dude, and people will be drawn to it, man. People can see a fake and smell it a mile away. I don't care if you like the Beastie Boys to Dark Throne, everything in between, man. We're all here to be friends and have a good time, and that's what this community is all about, and you're a vital part of it, man, and I appreciate you. There you go, man. That is Metal Miner's entry for Fumes of Hatred. Trevor. Appreciate you, brother. We'll see you.